So to perform this side cover, first we need to make a new configuration, the forged configuration, for when it goes to be forged. And then we need to make the two detail drawings for this side cover, the forged detail drawing and the machine detail drawing. So first let's make these configurations. I go over to the configuration tab near my feature manager, and then I right click on the part and say add configuration. This is going to be the forged configuration, and the description is model for Foundry. And then also let's rename our default configuration by right clicking, going to properties. Let's rename it to machined configuration, say model for machine shop. And then finally, with our forged configuration active, we need to suppress the whole pattern, which in mine here it's cut extrude 2. And remember, if we suppress this, it'll suppress all its child features as well, which is the circular pattern itself. And then we also need to change our 0.625 inner bore diameter. We need to change that to 0.6. So before you change the value, over to the right, make sure you click this configuration, put in 0.6, rebuild. Let's make sure that our configuration changes as appropriate. Yep. Alright, so now we can go to make a new drawing. New, make drawing from part assembly. And on this one I think because it's a small and simple part, the A size paper is going to be okay, and we'll continue not using the sheet format, so uncheck display sheet format, and then bring a front view on to the page, and then a right view. Don't do the isometric view just yet. We'll do that more near the end of this project. And then we need to add any missing center lines by using the center line tool on the annotation tab of the command manager. Click your two lines that you want to produce a center line with. Click the OK button in the property manager, and then we can import our model items, our dimensions from the model, by going to the annotation tab and clicking on model items. For the source, it's going to be the entire model because we want dimensions from the entire model to come up onto this thing, and we do want tolerance dimensions, hole callouts, and hole wizard locations. That's all we need. Make sure that eliminate duplicates is checked and import items into all views is checked. Click the green check mark. And then I'll let you all practice what you know by arranging the dimensions. A few things to remember is that if you hold down shift and then left click drag, you can move dimensions to different views. You can change the display state of diameter dimensions by going to the property manager of the dimension and then clicking on this guy. Come on. You can also right click on the dimension, go to display options and say display as diameter. And right now I'm seeing that I'm in the ISO standard, so make sure your units and your drafting standard are in ANSI. Mine's look like they're in ANSI, but my units are a little weird. Sometimes you have to go back and make sure once you've changed a unit property, make sure it's still on ANSI. There we go. Alright. One more thing I want you to remember, that you can hide extension lines by right clicking near the extension line and saying hide extension line. And you can make a new page by copying your first sheet go to copy, and then pasting in the left feature manager for the drawing. Say after selected sheet. So now I have sheet 1, 2, as we can see down here. I can change the name by going to properties. Let's call this the machine configuration. I can change the configuration of my drawing by clicking it inside the front view, the parent view, going to reference configuration, going to machines, and now this is in the machine configuration. To make sure the right view is in the machine configuration, I can say link to parent. There we go. But I'm actually going to delete the right view to make an aligned section. So to make an aligned section, it's very similar to a normal section. You go to view layout and then section view, and then you click on this guy right here. If you hover over it long enough, it'll say aligned, and you can even see the clicking pattern. First you'll click the center of the aligned section, next you'll click the point where you want the aligned section to go through, and then third you click the other point where you want the aligned section to go through on the other line. So here I can see my aligned section in preview, click the center of the top right hole, and then make the bottom part of the cutting plane line vertical, hit the green check mark, then bring it over. And now I can import missing model items, and then start dimensioning this thing once I get center lines in, of course. Whoops. And one final thing, I don't want to belabor this video, is the general notes section. You can go to note in the annotation tab of the command manager, type general notes, put part number, material, units, this is inches, and unless otherwise specified. Let's use the same tolerances from our housing as we did on, let's use the same tolerance that we used on our housing on this side cover, which was the machine tolerance was plus or minus 0.005, and the forge tolerance was plus or minus 25 thousandths or 0.025. To input custom properties, you go to the custom properties button, and you click model found here, property name for the part number, it's going to be the file name, and for the material we actually have to go back into the model. Once we get out of the note, I just pressed escape, so go back to the model and then add a custom property here, up here in file properties at the top near the menu bar. On the custom tab, click material and the property name, and then under the value expression click material. That's pretty easy, right? And then now back here I can input a custom property from the model, material. That's all I'm going to go over. I'll leave the rest to you.